Sorry, guys. Working out some issues. Okay, there we go. If that shadow starts becoming a problem, we'll try to find a solution. Anyway, hello. This is Becky here at AmpX Creations. And I left a message on my community tab that I'd start at 9, but I got back faster than I thought I would. So here I am. And we are going to make some artist trading coin pockets, ATC-Coin Pockets. And I'm going to turn this light on in the foyer. And I've got a towel on one end of the table here now for the cats so one of them can come sit next to me. They seem to like towels. I have a towel to lay on. There's a piece of paper I can make notes on. And I had a little notebook that had stuff written down, and in my quick cleanup, I've moved it. Hang on. What did I do with that little notebook? Also got something I picked up at the thrift store. Oh, it's right there in front of me. That I was going to share. I picked these up the other day. I got a big white notebook for $1.94 to put recipes in that I've printed off from the internet. And of course, you want to go out because I have the door closed. So I got that big notebook, and then I got these for $1.94. And of course, they've taped it. They don't want anybody to open it. They put enough tape on it, then, you won't open them. And I didn't really look at them too closely, but I thought, oh, some of those are really cute. So I'll just grab the whole bag for less than $2. Of course, I picked up the dullest scissors over there. It's got some color black ink. I don't know how juicy it is, but this was one of the reasons I picked it up. Look at the little bee sitting in the flower pot. Thought that was cute. And then this says sealed with a fish. And this one, they're all dirty. A little ladybug with hearts on it. Not bad for less than $2. There's an ant. And there's the end with a bunny's butt on it. I thought that was cute. And then look, cooties. So I can send cooties. I thought that was funny. And then another little ladybug. So I thought that was a pretty good deal. We might stamp them out here and just see what they look like and see if this is juicy. It looks juicy. I will take some time and clean these. They're kind of filthy. Little cooties. Little ant. There's a little ladybug. Now Greg's dropped. What I had to do is why I thought I was going to be late. Is Greg's trying to get his air conditioning working in his car. He's replaced everything that on the air conditioning. He bought the parts and did it himself in the driveway. He just can't get it chilled up and so it'll work. So, ooh, that really is. Oh, it's been damaged. That's a bummer. It looks like it's been melted. So that one's trash. Because the top of his head is all messed up. That one I'm going to throw in the trash. I hope this one's been melted too. Wonder how that happened. So I got two that I'm going to end up throwing away. Yeah, that one's just all messed up. So there's that. Oh, this one doesn't look like it's ever been used. That's good. That's weird that two of them looked all melted like that. Oh, that bee is darling. Ellen Crimmy Trent did a recent watercolor lesson on watercoloring bumblebees. Oh, I love this. This might go on some Happy Meal envelopes. And the cooties is melted too. That's why it didn't work. As long as I ink it lightly, maybe it'll be okay. But the edge of it's melted. And that's melted on the end. That's weird that they're melted like that. Maybe they got left in a car or something. A bird just hit the window. All right, so I wanted to share that. And then I'm gonna show you what we're gonna make. I made these ATCs with Janet on Monday. I took her prompts and I put them in the order that I wanted to do them in. Yeah, it's a bummer. Sometimes that happens. So these were my ATCs, and I wrote on the back, the date and that it was Janet Nash's UK prompts, and by me, Aunt Beck's Creations. And then I called this Bad Hair, Just Don't Care. So there's that one. And there's one there. And then this one here. So I'm going to keep one, send one to Janet Nash, and send one to my mom. But we're going to make this little pocket that I made. So you'll need some cardstock. And if you want to really showcase your ATC that you're putting in it, use something dark. I just grabbed this brown out of my scrap paper bin, which I'll look for some black, because I think a black pocket around would be really nice. And then you need the lighter weight, like cover film or even transparency film would probably work good. I didn't want to use the thicker plastic because if you mail them, you don't want to add to the weight, if that makes sense. So let's make one of these. So you need the film, which you can't see when it's laying here, but there's a piece of that film here. I'll put this right here. And you're going to need the plastic to be cut to 3 1/4 by 2 7/8. So let me see how I've got this trimmed here, because I don't remember. Yeah, this has been trimmed to the 3 1/4, which is fine. But then the other direction, you want it at 2 7/8. I had said 1/16 of an inch short, but if it's a full 1/8 of an inch back, it won't bubble quite as badly as these did. So let's do that at 3 1/4 by 2 7/8. You'll need your little plastic. I'm going to set that over on my computer. And then you need a piece of cardstock that's a 3 1/2 inch square. So let me grab my scraps. I'll just grab, this is a nice dark color. Oh, it's got, well, maybe I can get a piece off that's 3 1/2 inches square. This is really a charcoaly gray. It looks like I was trying a pen out on it. 3 1/2 inch square. All right. Then you need your scoreboard. This is just a quick project to get us started for tonight. And what I did is I scored 3 of the edges at 1/4 of an inch, and I just did it out here instead of trying to get in tight there. And then I turn it and scored 1/4 again, and then turn and scored 1/4 again. And it's going to be taller than it is wide. So your 3 1/4 inch direction on your plastic fits in to the area here. And you just line up the top of it and then kind of center it on the rest. And then we're going to put double-sided tape around, but you need to cut these little corners out. So what I did is I folded my edges on my paper. Fold the bottom up. Now, if you wanted to use a pretty cardstock, you would want to make sure the prettiness is on the inside, because the back here is what gets attached to a journal page. That was my whole idea to do these pockets, is if you mailed them in the pocket, then someone could put adhesive on the back and just tape the pocket in their book and then slide their ATC coin in it or keep it in there. So go ahead and fold your sides on your score lines. Burnish them over. And then we don't need the scoreboard anymore. Nettie's here. Hi, Nettie. Did you get home okay? Nettie, are you back home? Safe and sound? Hi, Kathy Whitney. Kathy, I love your Afghan. I'm glad you decided to put the border on. All right. You've got the little squares there. I'm going to cut these at an angle. Up to where the two edges. So see, it's cut at an angle like this. And I'm going to turn it and cut it at an angle this way. A pretty good angle, so because I want it to, when these fold over, I put the bottom on first and then I'll put the edges over. But I want that to kind of overlap this other one. If you're really good at it, you could get them, trim them to where they would meet like a picture frame, a 45-degree angle. All right. So what I did is I got some double-sided adhesive, 1/4 inch. I guess you could use glue. You just have to be more patient, and you might have to use clips to get it to dry. That's why I just used my 1/4 width, because that's what I've scored at. And I just make sure that it's on the inside of that fold and not past the edge. Get this on here. So if you want, I can put the measurements for this in the description box. So I'll go back over that for those that have just come in. Hi, Mina. Hi, Janet. Sherry, Nettie, Joyce, and Sherry Van. I think that's everybody so far. So the cardstock, you start with a 3.5 inch square, score 1/4 inch on 3 sides, fold it, then cut at an angle your little corners out here. Then you have this little guy here that's cut. It's a flimsy plastic, like transparency, and it's cut 3 1/4 by 2 7/8. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay my film down on here, and I want to make sure my top is even, and then kind of center everything else in the middle. And then I hold the plastic down and I take well, you got to make sure that this will fold over. So you work with your plastic a little bit before you peel the tape off. So I've done that there. course, I trimmed my nails. I can't do anything now. I like to keep them short when I'm working in the yard because, you know, dirt gets all up under them. And then, yeah. All right. So there, that's the bottom of it sealed up. Then pick a side, pull the tape off that. I may have not got mine nice and even, so I think it went to the right too much. Oh. I can't get a hold of it because my nails are gone. And then fold that over. And then we'll do our last side here. This is just one of those other things I thought of the other day. After I made these ATCs, I said, now what am I going to do? Because I've got to put them in something to protect them as they travel. So we'll pull one of these out of my brown one. And this little dangle, because she had a punch a hole or holes, and then she added a dangle, so I added a dangle. And this is just fabric that was cut off from where I trimmed blocks, and I just keep it. It makes great hair. Did that butterfly flip around on me? Nope, that's the way it needs to go. And then they just slide down in your pocket. And I've got that dangle, so it needs to go in at an angle. Close enough. So there you go. There's a little pocket. And then they will have to take this out to glue this in their book. But once it's glued down good, then they can just slide their ATC in to keep it forever. And the reason I came up with this is so they can just put it in here and they'd still be able to read the back of it. Because if you just send it and then they glue this down in their book like this, then they can't see all the information that I wrote on the back. So there's that. So that was just a quick little project for us to get started on tonight. So I got two that are in the brown now and one that's in the gray. But you can use any color paper. And if you used your fancy colored, fancy scrapbook paper, then there would be pretty print in the background. Hi, Teresa. Short nails in the garden. It's pointless to have long nails because you just break them off and usually into the quick. And that's no fun for anybody. So that's all I had to share on that. I will put the measurements for all of it in the description box after we finish up tonight. So then the only other thing I could think to do is maybe we could do Bits and Bob's postcards so that I'm ready to go when Tanya assigns partners. I think sign up is closing soon. So if you want in on the postcard swap, you need to get with Tanya McGuire. Let me grab 2 postcards in the Bits and Bob's book. Somebody put a number in between 1 and 20, but skip the number 5 because that's fabric, and I'm not doing a fabric postcard. I've already pre-cut my little cardboard pieces. And I've not had any problem recycling this lightweight cardboard from the cat food. I've sent postcards to a lot of you using these, and I've never had a problem or had one returned or anything. So let me show you the ones from before. All right, we'll do pocket 3 from Sherry. That's the first number I saw pop in there. Let me get on live chat. That's live chat, and Sherry did 3. So these are the ones I've done so far. I have not done the backs of them yet. So I did this one. The magazine pictures are very glossy. It says, some people dream of going to Paris. Others dream of horses. And then I did this one and added some stickles to the dragonfly. These are the 2 we did together. Scott said this is his favorite out of all of them. And I put some stickle dots on that too. I will be clear coating all of these. So these will get a clear coat on them. And then we did these, I think, together another time. So there's this one with the polar bear. And this one says, if you're lucky enough to be different, never change. I thought that one was cool. And then, actually, no, I did these in Ann's Craft and Chat. On Thursdays, we get together in Ann Lahr's group, and we craft together all day. So if you ever want to drop in, you can come in for just a few minutes. You can stay a couple hours. You can stay all day. It doesn't matter. Ann opens the room about 10 o'clock in the morning Eastern, and then we just hang out. So yeah, I did these three during Craft and Chat, the sock puppet, the polar bear, and the fox. And I put the lace on there. And the fox, I used one of these little definition blocks. I got these off Amazon. And each one of these covers a different section of the alphabet. This is T through Z. And it's just random words. There are no repeats. These are all individual word definitions. Ooh, that one says tick. An increment on a scale, especially the smallest amount by which a security may rise or fall in a stock or a bond market, a very short time. And you know what I heard when I said tick in my brain? I thought of those creepy things that get on your animals. But yeah, I used one of those. I'm going to put those there because we might use them. But I used the one that said overlook. Provide a view of something, especially from above. To look at something from above. To be located high above something. And doesn't he look like he's high above something? So there we go. We're going to make some postcards, and we're going to use the stuff in pocket number 3 of our Bits and Bobs binders. And I've beefed my binder up. She's bigger than she was before. Let me get her. It'll be interesting. We should definitely not have any problem getting anything out of her now. See, she's big now. She's a big, thick girl now. Let's see. Number 3. I have to stand it up to get everything out. So 1, 2, 3. 3 is not one of the fattest pockets, but it's been beefed up. So hopefully, stuff in the bottom of it. There we go. Oh, one more. And remember, anything I don't use, I put back in here. Well, we're going to say that's good because that other little piece is so small I can't get a hold of it. All right. Hi, Esther. Hi, Mary Lou. I thought I saw Sharon. There she is. Hi, Sharon. Whew. All right. I'm going to set her back over here. Howard, that door is not closed all the way. You could open it by yourself without any assistance. You want to go back out? It's not closed, honey. I am here to serve the cats. That's clearly how it goes. All right, let's see. That's pretty. The only problem with this is it's so large, it's not going to fit landscape-wise. And we want the postcards to be oriented this way per Tanya's request. So that won't get used. I could use these roses. That's almost a whole postcard on itself. Except for here where it's cut away. That could be a quick postcard. We'll hold it. If nothing else, I could maybe trim it a little bit. Maybe trim around the flowers. All right. We got some magazine pages. Maybe I'll put the magazine pages together. That kind of looks cool. I love those green cups of stuff. That was a ATC I made from a background that I shrunk down. I created the background and then shrunk it down. Then there's a horse and a bluebird. That bluebird kind of goes with the space stuff. Here's a little cottage. These are just little bits. This is plain cardstock. What I do is I go through here. That says get your ducks in a row. That could come across kind of negative. Get your ducks in a row. These were some circle bits that Lisa sent me, I think. Tiny little pieces like that can add a lot to something like a postcard. Got a horse and a sunset at the beach. This is just a little piece of ledger paper. Ooh, that would make a cool background for the green cups. Of course, that makes it look like it's St. Patrick's Day, doesn't it? I threw some painty paper pieces in. These were labels from Lisa. And these were from Lisa. Then there's more St. Patty's Day. It's almost like there's a St. Patrick's Day feel going here. Let me look through this stuff real quick and then I'll get back to you. This is a tamper resistant label. There's a little doodle flower that I did. There's some little blings, which I won't put on a postcard, so I'm going to put that aside. Some more greenish colored stuff. This was some tape somebody sent me. That was a piece of painty paper. I'm probably not going to use the St. Patrick's Day stuff because it's nowhere near St. Patrick's Day. Hi, Angie. Oh, and Mary Lou, I'm sorry about your neck. I hope it gets to feeling better. I hate that. Esther, you have to get with Tanya McGuire and let her know you'd be interested. She's the one doing the swap. And I think the deadline for sign up is coming up. Hi, Kathy. Hi, Kathy. That's another kind of green color. That's got some green in it. Look, there's that stamp that was ruined. I had to throw in the trash that says sealed with a fish. This is green. We have a lot of green stuff. These postcards might be really green. I'm not going to use those. I'll put that with the green. That says leg. Oh, it's got frogs on it. One of y'all sent me the frogs because I was having trouble finding frogs. I'm seeing a green theme going on here. That was from the doodle envelopes we did with neurographic art. That was where I put this piece down to leave an address place on the envelope. That's what that's from. I don't know. It's got some green in it. We could use it. There might be something small enough to use on a postcard there. Some more green labels. I really kind of like those two. Nah. Reality whistles a different tune underwater. I don't think I'm going to do anything that's underwatery. I might leave that green piece there. And I just sort things out until I come up with a collection of things that I can make something with. This is a little chunky. I'm just quickly going through and getting things that kind of match. I always keep the black stuff because you never know. That won't work on a postcard. Yep, we're doing a green theme. I'm not doing St. Patrick's. Kind of like that piece of block there. That's a blue-green. All right. Give me a second. I'll look at chat here. That says G on it. That's green. Today only happens once. Make it amazing. That would be a good saying for our postcard. I support Greenpeace, but it might offend somebody else, so I won't use that. Oh, not holiday. That's some sayings. We might hold on to that. That's another piece of green. Another piece of green. There's a fortune cookie. Failure is opportunity in disguise. That could be a cute little embellishment. Okay. I'm getting there. That's kind of on the thick side. Let's set that aside. The thicker pieces are good on pages and stuff, but on a postcard, not so much. All right, the ducks have some green on them. And put those over there. A lot of my time doing these is just sorting everything out. Aw, that's my baby. Wasn't he cute? Y'all are going to have to see him every time I pull him out. Oh, I cut a leaf out of that one. 2 leaves. That's got some green on it. All right. Maybe that could go on there. Nope, there's another fortune cookie. This one says, the strangest, most generous, and proudest of all virtues is true courage. All right. I am going to put these. I also kind of like these images with the bluebird. We might can come up with something there. The frog is green. All right, let me get my book back and I'm going to put some of this stuff back in pocket 3. I might have to get my chair over here so I can sit down. Pocket 3. We need to fill you back up with some of this stuff. I just figured this would be a good way for me to get these postcards done. I think we don't have to mail them. Well, I'm not going to say because she's got all of the rules and stuff on her channel, Tanya McGuire. So you'll have to go check her out. I also kept out my big envelope of butterflies so I can, if I get too far gone in one direction or another, I can just slap a butterfly on it because, hey, everybody loves butterflies, right? Let me get my chair so I can sit down. Whew. All right. Look at chat. Where are we working? And pocket number 3. Esther, I'll swap with you if you don't get in on time on Tanya's, but I think you have, 2 more days to get signed up, but I could be wrong. All right. So now I kind of like these together for one of my postcards. it just needs a background and then maybe something else. So where's my other piece of cardboard? And let's just look. What do we have that we could make a background? I think this would be a good background because it covers the whole thing. I could glue that down. And then this has got a lot of yellow, and this is a different yellow. So I could put some of this on here in a couple places. And this is more circles. We'll just leave that there for right now. And I like using the fortune cookies. So we might use those as our words. And we'll use a piece of this black paper as a mat for our words. And these balls have some blue on it. Maybe bring some of this in on here. I'm just kind of layering it up a little bit. I don't think I'll use any of Lisa's stickers, and I'm not going to use that. This doesn't really match that. I'm going to set it aside because we might find ourselves doing maybe 3 postcards. I really like this that says today only happens once, make it amazing. And then we could put this green, one of these frogs on that one. I kind of like how that leaf looks. If I overlaid it on top of a different color, maybe. That's a thought. Trying to match it up. That doesn't really go with anything. This kind of goes with this yellowish color. That one, no. I might have to get in my painty paper scraps for I love this pink, but it doesn't really go with anything we got today. June 10th is the sign-up deadline, and then I think you have until July something to mail them. Yes, and they cannot go in an envelope. They have to go just like that, which I have mailed these postcards like this, and I've made them quite dimensional before and not had a problem. What I'm going to do here is just put a light white paint on here and try not to mess up the front of my cards. And then I'll write postcard and divide it, in sections and put addresses and a personal message. And I had told her I would sign up to do up to 15 postcards. I'm a third of the way there already, and we have some time, but I'd like to have them all ready to go. Oh, these dots are cool. All right, here's another background. Where's my blanks? Oh, I hope he's not going to race up and down on that dirt bike while I'm trying to do this. Look, that covers the whole thing. That would give me another background for the frog card. Maybe. I'm just playing right now. Sometimes You will never know the true value of a moment until it becomes a memory. That's a little chunky for a postcard, but man, it matches that paper so good. That kind of goes with that too. Don't really care for that. I'm keeping the black pieces out for right now. I'm toying with I don't think I'm going to use this leaf. I'll use it another time. This is what takes me so long because I'm trying to put things together, that go. And getting it sorted through is half the battle. It says, I think Beth sent these to me. Tamper evidence seal. Enjoy. That would go with that. I got a lot in this kind of greenish color. I don't really think these go anymore. I do kind of like those. But I think I like that on there and maybe the frog on here. Yes. Yeah. This looks like watercolor. This was either Mary or Kendra because I think I got stuff from you both that had that on there. All right. I think we've got a quote for each one, so we don't need that anymore. I think we have enough that we can start making a postcard. I think. Oh, geez, here he comes again. I thought they were illegal on the street, dirt bikes, but, who am I? Who am I? Oh, that rose could be pretty on that one. All right, you think I got enough piled up on these that I can come up with something? All right, we need something kind of bluish or something for the one that's over here. So we'll do that one last. Let's start with this pile, this mess here. Let's see what we can come up with. I saw Tanya did a short, I think, today. All right, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to apply my background, and then we'll play with these. So I'm going to get my glue brush. I'll be right back. I'll let you look at the kitty while I'm gone. I wonder if Greg came back. He'd left something in his car. After we were over there and I said, make sure you get everything out of your car that you might need before you lock it and drop your key in the box. And as soon as he had dropped the key in the lock box, the overnight drop at the garage, he goes, ah. I said, you left something in there. He said, I'll drive back over and get it. So he's using our car to go over and get it. But Yeah, I mean, it was just like, I told him, I said, don't forget it. And he did. So. Oh, awesome, Esther. That's awesome. I'm so glad you're going to get to join in. I think all you have to do is send Tanya your name, address, email, and how many people you want to swap with. And have your postcards ready, as quick as you can so that when she assigns your partners, you can get them right out. That's what I do. I try to always have them done and ready to go. Because if I wait, I fall behind, and I don't want to do that. Try not to. So after I get off here, I'm going to finish the last hat. And I'm going to do a video, but I'm not going to put it up until they are received on the receiving end, all these hats. And so I'll do a video to set it up to go live, later. I'm just using glue all and spreading it around with a damp brush instead of using Mod Podge. I could probably still sew through this postcard. This is not really thick chipboard type recycled board, so I could probably still sew on it. I just don't like to do that with my sewing machine. All right. I didn't get my block of oak, and I've got more stuff that needs to go back in to pocket 3. Let me grab my piece of cutting board that Scott gave me. I use this all the time. I'm going to go ahead and set this block on that postcard that I just glued. And I'll go ahead and glue the background for the next one on there. But I need to get these out of my hand before I can do that. Howard, you're not using this recliner. I'm going to put my book here so I don't have to keep pulling it out. Oh. All right, so let's get a background on this one. All right, I'm going to put this on here. Uh-oh. I think Tanya's going to have a really good turnout. I enabled poor Kathy. She got the little dictionary blocks. I didn't even use one of those. Maybe I'll look up Fortune, see if Fortune's one of the cards, and put it on one of the ones that has a fortune on it. And then maybe we can look up something else to go with the other fortune cookie. I'm going to finish these two before I go digging for a background for the one with the little space bird. Space bird? That sounds like something Dee Dee would do. A space bird. Dee Dee, do a space bird. That'd be funny if she's listening and does it like the next time she goes live. Becky said to do a space bird. These are just some gel prints that we did a while ago. Let's see here. All right. We'll switch out what's under the block here. Put this under the block. That's still a little tacky there. I turned my cart around. I've got another project I need to finish and get in the mail before I forget to finish it. I did something for my sister-in-law that needs to be finished. There's really not much left to do on it, so I might do that. I slept a good bit today while Scott slept, so I feel like I'm wired for sound. I'm sorry if I'm too loud, too. That kitty card. Yeah, we did the kitty card. Was it last Wednesday we did the kitty card? And then this one that says hi. And we looked up the word for the place where they keep all the butterflies, and I cannot remember it. Somebody will have to remind me. So we did these together from, I can't even remember it. Was it 19 last week? I don't know. I didn't write it on here or keep note of it or anything, but these were from Bit Bobs. And then the other ones that I did in the Craft and Chat. So like I said, Craft and Chat's a whole lot of fun. And you know, you don't have to talk. You can just sit there and listen to others banter and then pipe in when you want to. And it's just a lot of fun. I feel like you guys are too far away. Come here. Got to get closer. But thank you. Thank you, Sharon. Oh, no. Is your bedroom in an upstairs room? The upstairs in a house is always hotter than downstairs. Oh, I know. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And I told Tanya I would swap with 15 because I thought 15 would make a nice book. But, you know, it depends on how many sign up. I'm just going to trim this. But I do think she's going to have a real good turnout because a lot of people are doing it. Now, I could, and I have done this, and it's not been a problem. I hand-stitched an entire fabric postcard on a piece of lightweight cardboard. I think it was on cardboard. I don't even remember now. But I sent it to Janet Nash, and it had thread on it and everything, and it made it to her all in one piece. And that's going all the way across the ocean. So don't be afraid of getting it a little chunky. I mean, you just don't want your book to be all different widths, but I don't worry about things hanging from it. And I'm really bad about, I'll sign the postcards, but I'm not real good about putting return address. That's something I don't usually do on a postcard. That's getting a little wibbly wobbly, wrinkly. And these I'll just set aside and put them back in pocket 3 in a minute. All right. So let's work on this one. I think I do want one of these frogs, but I'm not going to try to cut it out with those great big scissors. So let me grab some other scissors. Excuse me. I need to take a sip of water. I made vegetable lasagna tonight. Oh my goodness, it turned out so good. I was so pleased with it. I think I'm going to the zoo on Friday. So I might try to do a video. I'm going with my sister and her daughter's spouse. I'm just cutting a frog out. You all know how to cut a frog out. I got to get it closer to my nose. But I'll try to do a little video of our beautiful zoo that we have. Another time I'd like to go and just walk the gardens over there. They put the water park right next to the garden, so it might be not as enjoyable now that it's summer's here as it is in when the water park is not in operation. It'll be loud. In other words, it'll be hard to videotape if there's too many kids over there. Of course, I would want to go early so I could get there before the heat. And you have to get there before it gets too late in the day because they put the animals up when it starts getting hot. They put them in their air-conditioned areas. They're very pampered animals. The only ones I think are out constantly are the tortoises and things like the tigers, the big cats and stuff. They put them up when it starts getting hot. And they're the whole reason I go, is to see them. The grizzly bear wasn't out either last time I went. I'm keeping his shadow around his feet so I don't cut his toes off. I managed to save the little toe at the back, but I don't know how that's going to stay on there. That he might end up losing a toe. Anyway, this is really cool thing, but it's not punched all the way out. I need the pokey tool. We might put this film strip on here. What is it? 2 or 3 of them would fit. Barely. Maybe if I do them like this. I would need a lot more pictures though, wouldn't I? I could put the frog in one. I don't know. Let's just put that. That could be a border on it. Let me pop those holes out of it. Pokey tool. Let's see. Tanya is going to make the list up for the swap. When you sign up with her, she'll let you know who's on your list. But if you don't want to sign up and do Tanya's swap, but would like to swap with me, just let me know. I've been just trying to encourage everybody to go through Tanya so that, because she's the one that thought up the idea, you know, I think it's only fair that we help her get as many participants as possible. And she's planning to make a postcard for everybody that participates. She's going to be a postcard making fiend. That's why I figured I better limit myself to the 15. But I would gladly swap with others that, you know, aren't really interested in a larger swap. I think one of y'all sent this little strip to me. I think. What I did to beef my binder up is I got all my stickers and all that kind of stuff that was in separate little folders, and I just grabbed handfuls of it and shoved them in pockets just so I could beef that binder up. And some pockets got beefed up a little bit more than others. I know this is boring watching me poke these out, but I think it'll look cooler if I do this. Maybe if I can get the little boogers to break off. And they're not all along. It's kind of weird how some parts they're right regular, and then there's parts where it's like skips a little section and there's no cut there. Well, there's another one like that. That's different. All right, so that can go on there. And you could save all this little confetti, but I'm not going to. I'll put it in my trash can. Ooh, is there enough of this that I could put leaves in the windows? We could glue that on there and put that as a, ooh, I like that idea. So I'm just going to put glue on the back of this and put it on here and see if I can keep it from sticking to my block. Uh-oh, there's another little square still stuck on it. Thought I had them all loose and I've already started putting glue on. I have waxed paper. This will need to set a minute before I trim it. So I figured I could glue this up and put it on top of the leaves. And then I'll come in with my scissors and trim it away so that it's just inside those. So here's the other postcard. We'll set that over there. Wax paper just hit the floor, of course. In fact, I can lift the whole thing and put it in between these. That way the glue doesn't get on my table and it doesn't get on my wooden block. All right. So while we wait on that, I'm going to set these back aside here. We'll pull this one back over. And I just had that Bondo spreader right there. Try to smooth this out a little bit. Some of these are going to be kind of textured because it's got wibble wobbles. Wibble wobbles. Oh, good night, Kathy. Thank you so much for stopping in. She probably left before I saw it. You have to start throwing shoes at me. Scott will have to leave for work soon. Hopefully he's watching the time. And there's rumors they're going to do another week of this nonsense schedule. I need to get him off this schedule. It's not good for him. Third shift sucks. All right, let's see what we've got over here. Are we starting to develop the shadows at all? No, it looks like we're doing pretty good. Wanted this to be like this because I want this at the top and the dots here. And then I could put one of these on here to block that. I love these ducks. They're hilarious. That one's almost offensive. It says, get your ducks in a row. I don't know if I'll use that or not. Just one of y'all need to get your ducks in a row. There's also this one. Sometimes you'll never know the true value of a moment until it becomes a memory. That might be more palatable than the ducks, even though theirs are cute. And then I like this. Today only happens once. Make it amazing. Might cut one of these off from here. And this is on sticker paper. I love sticker paper. You can make your own quote sheets and then print them on sticker paper and then cut them all. Hi, Ann. You'll have to watch the beginning where we did the little artist trading coin. I was able to get back faster than I thought we would. Here's another piece of that paper. That's just too pink. I might get the ink out. We'll do some inking because that's already inked. They do it to me too, Scott. Just proves he's a little jerk. Makes like a little fence. Oh, and I wanted to put the roses on here. Don't think I'm going to use that piece. I'm going to cut these roses out, I think, and stick them on there. And then maybe put this. I wish I had a greener piece to put on here. Or maybe I'll just do a black mat on it instead. So I need to change the ink I'm inking with. I'm not going to use that. I'm going to use these 2 roses on here. This will be a real pretty postcard then. All right. Sorry, I got to looking down. Let me see who else is going. So Esther and Sharon, if you don't get partnered with me through Tanya, I'll put you guys down to be additionals on top of my 15. I'm going to write it on my little notebook right now. I don't know if anybody else said they wanted to swap with me, but I know Esther sends me stuff every once in a while. So I'm going to write Sharon Lombard and Esther, Artful Esther, postcards. And if you guys aren't, like I said, if you don't get paired up with me, I'll go ahead and make a couple extra and just send them to you. Esther, I think I still have your address. I'm pretty sure I do. And I'm going to print up a little sheet of my addresses and shrink them down postcard size so I can put return addresses on. The ones you get, you know, with your cards and all, they're not small enough. And Kathy C says she's going to go and she might be back. Good night, Kathy. Here comes one Kathy leaves and then Kathy D comes in. So hello. And you want me to write your name on the list too? I can do that. I actually made the horse one really aimed toward you anyway. So, all right, let me get some black ink. Let's see here. Jet black. Oh, you know what I need to purchase is makeup sponges. Looks like I know. I put them over here. Never mind. I'm not out of them. put them in a different place. There. We'll finish these postcards, and if you guys still want to hang with me, I might cut some gnomes with those little gnome dies just to see how they turn out. Hi, Tanya. I'm sending people your way. You're probably getting blingity bling bling bling, but I'm making postcards. And oh, this is dry. Let me look. Oh, I got that ink I got with those stamps that half of them were ruined. I wish I'd looked at them closer, but still, I paid what? $1.94 for all of them. Can't really complain. Let's see how it works. This might be easier. I will probably take my postcards outside and spray them with a sealer before I try to put anything else on them. I got heavy with the first piece, so I'm getting heavy with all of them so they'll all go together. This had some distress ink on it before. Oh, Nettie, thank you, hon. Yes, it is. Janet Baum actually put it in for you earlier, but you can put it in too. And just put a link onto your channel as well, and then that way they can find you. If they lose sight, they can go sub and then find it that way too. It's a little on the dark side, but because I'll want these to be stable first, I'll spray them with something and then use the stuff I usually use on my postcards. I'm already a third of the way there to the 15 I signed up to do. So woohoo! And we'll just do the edge on this. And maybe just the edge on this here. I will probably cut this in half. All right. This one's going to be a double message postcard. It'll have 2 messages on the front of it. All right. I was going to cut these roses out. And we are going to put this piece here. This piece there. Maybe stick that one under there. This one on top there. Then I'll cut this on, make a mat for this. Stick that on there. And the flowers. Okay. I'm just going to fussy cut these roses out. And Anne, you were right about putting things under my block of wood and then throwing a bunch of books on top of it. It really flattened those postcards out that I've already made. With us being on this weird schedule, I kind of changed my idea of what I was going to do for the postcards. I was going to use my little photo printer and just go around Casey and take pictures of like our little museum and things like that, interesting places and some of the art that's around Casey, and then do a collage through that. But then I got to thinking that wouldn't be very homemade or, made by me postcards. So I nixed that idea and started doing these like this. So maybe I'll do that at another time when I can like go and take pictures and actually manage to accomplish that. My sister's doing pretty good, so she's up for the zoo, she says. That would be another thing I'd want to share is some things from the zoo. That's actually in Colombia. Or yeah, Colombia. It's a beautiful zoo. And I'll do a video when we go on Friday. Robin's good for just a couple hours. She's healing pretty good. It's just don't want her to overdo, which she did the other day, and she had some internal pain. So she said she better be good. She gets to feeling good, and then she wants to do. We're all like that. It's like, can't sit still for long. Got to be doing something. But that's some pretty intensive surgery she had, so I told her to behave herself. I don't know if I like the leaves. I think I'm going to cut the leaves off. They look weird. Sorry, leaves. You got to go. You're welcome, Tanya. Yes, Esther, it is. I've done some on mixed media paper and watercolor paper. I'm just using this recycled card that comes between the cat food because I have a bunch of it. Because we used to feed wet food, but after the pandemic and not being able to find the wet food, I just weaned my cats off so they don't get canned anymore. It's not good for them anyway. So when I use this cardboard up, though, I won't have any more. Yeah, I like these better without those goofy looking leaves on them. Smells like Greg's heated something up in his fryer thingamajigger. Not rounding it too smooth. Close enough. All right. All right, I think I'm out of this stuff from my Xyron machine. So I'm going to have to use I'm getting shadows again. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know what to do. Nighttime filmings. Not as easy at this house as it was at the little house. I'm in a bigger room for one thing. Here's Scott getting ready for his evening. He is so talking about retiring in 2 years now instead of waiting till 67 and a half. Says he wants to be able to at least enjoy his retirement years for a little bit before he goes. They're trying to kill him at this job. This third shift business is for the birds. Just running my mouth. Need to be quiet. Shh. Hush. There we go. But I think that's everywhere these days because Greg was supposed to be working 4 10-hour days, but they're so short-handed, he's working 6 12-hour days. That's just too much. Okay. I'm not really doing prompts. I'm just using my bits and bobs. Whatever they say to speak to me. I'm not really following the chat too good right now. I'll look at it in a minute. I'm reusing one of y'all's envelopes. Somebody that did a watercolor envelope. I think it's watercolor or something. And then did the little fake crochet or tatting that Mary did a while ago. It's all getting recycled. And I'm determined to use these bits and bobs up. And so that's why I said, I could do bits and bobs for Tanya's postcard swap. These look weird. I don't know how to fix them. Might not end up using these after all. They look weird. They're from an ancient greeting card for one thing. Maybe if I ink the edges so they're all inked. Let me see. Kind of looks like they've been through a fire now. Too late now. We've committed to it. we go. Yeah. Then I'll put this other quote down here. These are going to have to live under the wax paper in the block for a while to get all of this to glue tight. Oh, you know what? I need to be on the wax paper. Oh, Nettie, I'm so sorry. I get a heating pad when I get an earache, and I know you're not supposed to lay on it, but about 10 minutes or 15 minutes with a heating pad on my ear helps so much. They say never fall asleep on a heating pad. It can cause blood clots, but just a few minutes with a heating pad on a sore ear is just awesome in my book. I get a lot of relief from heating pad on my ear when I get a bad earache. I'm so susceptible to ear infections. They say it's because the eustachian tube on my right ear is underdeveloped and I don't have a sinus cavity on the right hand side of my forehead. They say it's very, very small and nearly non-existent on that side of my forehead, which that would explain why it's so easy for me to, nothing drains on that side. That's usually the ear that hurts, and that's the one I can hear out of. The other ear I can't hear much anything anymore. Once I get this all glued on here, I'll pull the other piece out from under the block, and we'll slide this one in and get this going flat. And I think I'm going to cut this. It's like a double message here, but it'll be all right. Remember, these are on sticker paper, but I'm still going to put just a little bit of glue on here, I think. There's that. See, that's why it has to go under the block of wood, because I'm going to cut it again and ink that edge. Okay. I got so much glue on my fingers, I got to peel some off so that I can pick stuff up without it sticking to me. And in elementary school, you'd go, ew, skin. Y'all are probably going, what is she talking about? But you know what I'm talking about. You are laying there with a heating pad. Good. It could be from you changing altitudes, Nettie. It always takes me a while. Like if I go up to New York, and when I'm up there, I'm usually sick because of the altitude change. And then when I get back down here, I have to readjust to the altitude down here. All right, I'm going to put a little bit of glue to help hold this on. Even though it's got stickum on it, you know, it's going through the mail. A little bit of extra help won't hurt it. Oh, I better get that back off before I do that. Don't be getting ahead of yourself. Yeah, Greg will be. I hope he's getting it for all these extra hours. You ought to hear the numbers they're expecting them to put out of ammunition right now. I was just amazed at how much they're expected to do each week. All these places, the morale is so low. It's just so hard to keep people. And Scott had one young man that he was training last night tell him he didn't really want to work anyway. So Scott said, okay, I can help you with that, and wrote the letter. So he don't have to worry about working anymore. The down part about cutting these words out is you have to use a pokey tool or something to get the backing loose. All right. After this sets under the book a while, I'll probably, because this is so stark white, according to everything else on here, I'll probably get my white Posca pen and do a border around it, and that'll tie all of it together. All right, so let's switch these out so we can work on the other cards. So there's one postcard. It's not completely finished, and those magazine pictures really wreak havoc. You know what I forgot to do, Scott? I forgot to go by the pharmacy today. I forgot to go to buy CVS. They say I have a prescription ready. So tomorrow I might go do that while you're sleeping. All right, so we're going to bring this back with the frog. I'm just trimming this even with the film strip. I don't know how to do those. There's all these little curves and divots in the sides. I don't think I can do it with the scissors. I'll keep that little piece. That little piece can go in the trash. I got to get this up close to me so I can see what I'm doing. Maybe I should try to punch that with a hole punch. Let me see. Hang on. Let me get a couple hole punches and see if that would work. There's a little one. This is a bad one. Let's see here. Let's see. I don't know if this will work. If I can just. Well, that kind of worked there. Yeah. I hear Scott muttering. Just muttering. I use this small one. Oh, so update on the bathroom. The water lines have all been pulled and replaced. And Scott and I have went and we bought a new vanity and a bathtub. And they've marked the front yard. So as soon as we get the new ply down on the floor, then the kid can come back and set the bathtub for us and redo our supply line from the meter to the house. So it's all coming along now. It's actually feeling like we're moving forward. Those leaves look kind of cool on there. And then I got this frog. It's a frog. Not just any old frog. It's a frog. All right. Got some of this. Come here, froggy. Lift you up. Put this on here some sort of way. There. And put this across like that. Yeah, these are going to have to live under a book. And I really like this bling here. Slide that up under. Maybe cut some off so it's not. I'm just playing right now. That's too much. Failure is opportunity in disguise. I can trim that down smaller. Maybe have some bouncing balls come down over the top. All right, I'm going to put this one together. First thing I'm going to do is trim this down. Let me help Scott real quick. I'll be right back, you guys. It'll take me 2 seconds. Piper?
Some people don't recognize opportunity because it's usually wrapped up in hard work.
Exactly.
I got wires too, water.
You can learn it too.
That's not bad story. So tired.
Have a good night.
Papa, I hope you have a good night.
She said, I will if Dad'll let me sleep with him. All right. Scott's accoutrements to head out the door are all in the correct location, so he's good to go. Only takes a minute to help him. Just a minute. I don't think I want to put any dark on this one. I'm just going to use some of this really sticky double-sided tape here. Since I don't have fingernails, I'll use the pokey tool. Maybe. Ann says, bye, Scott.
Thank you.
He says, bye, thank you. He doesn't really want to go. He's not feeling too good. He's getting pretty exhausted. But I think he and I were talking about it earlier, that the days of employers building up and really supporting and being there for their employees, those days are gone. There's not very many places that give a rat's you know what about their employees anymore. It's hard to get excited about going to work when you feel like you're beat down all the time. Just saying, peoples. All right. Now, I will glue behind the paper part, not on the vellum, so that it doesn't. Oh, I wish this would fit through my little machine. Let me see. Will you fit through the little machine, Froggy? Oh, no. I don't think I had enough to make him sticky all the way. That thing is empty now. I need to order some of that stuff. Let me see if there's enough on there to make him sticky. If not, I will have to use glue on that too. Bring this back over here. Yeah, I think I'm gonna, I don't know, should I edge this with something? I don't like those that I was using. Let me see. Just cut some of this off from here. Oh, that is the green. All right. This is the peeled paint distress ink. So it'll be dark, but not black. Good night, Tanya. Okay, I think that's everything I'm going to ink, but I'll leave it out just in case, because no live would be correct unless you have a pile of stuff everywhere. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. All right, let's spread some glue. Oh, hi, Barbara Clark. Bye, sweetie. Poor guy. He should teach at Tech where it's classroom based. That would be so much better. I got to try to get that huge thing of lasagna in the refrigerator. We'll be eating lasagna for days. Greg can take some for his lunch tomorrow. That'll save him a little bit. Greg and Scott will take some for his lunch tomorrow night. So glad we're nearing the end of the week. Can't get here soon enough. This one I want more control than the thing. So I ordered my stepfather Father's Day, and I forgot to change the address. So I went in to change the address to their address, but it wouldn't let me change from my mom's name to my stepdad's name. So Dad's Father's Day stuff is going to arrive to Mom. So I think I told her, I don't know. I think I thought about telling her is what I think. I figured it's got a note in it that it's for Dad. It's got, one of those gift receipts. But if it gets lost under the flap, Mom will be going, why did you send me that? It's for Dad. You can't see that that's leaves now. Well, kind of. And then we'll stick the froggy down. I'm hoping there's enough adhesive under the froggy because I was on the very end. Oh, that's the bad thing. Yeah, see, it didn't. Oh, I think it's ruined my froggy. He's supposed to stay stuck to the white part, not the other way around. He's not supposed to stick to the... Oh, see, that's how he's supposed to do. But now the problem is getting him off the white part. See, that's where the stickum messed up, right there. Oh, it's messing him up. Demon. I'm trying to get him free. I think I'm going to have to cut him out on that one side again. Oh, I feel like a cat that stepped in a fly sticker. I'm trying to get my... It's sticky back there. It's just... Sorry, I got this up to my nose where I can see it. Oh my goodness. I should have looked closer to see where all the stickum was. Careful, Howard. Howard's about to go into nighttime zoomies. I do believe. Okay. Will you stick down? I've got that sticky stuff everywhere. All right. The frog is on there. Oh, thank you. Sometimes I have my doubts about them, and then they turn out okay in the end. I'm just adding glue, even though these are all sticker backed, because I know they'll be getting manhandled in the post office. Again, I will add something white to this to pull all the white components together. And all this will dry clear. Okay. Of course, you're going to flip over, stick to the table. I hope he took the right phone. He has a personal phone and a work phone. All right. We're going to switch out the one that's been under the block to the one that we just finished here. It's not finished, but we'll bring this one back and work on it some and let this sit under here while we're doing that. Okay, let me get a white pasta pen. And I need a wet one. And I can sit down and read chat. Everybody must be busy tonight, or they forgot I was coming on or something, because I usually have about 20 people, but everybody might be tired. So there's a lot of people on Wednesdays. I keep wondering, should I keep coming on Wednesday evening? Is it worth it to you guys for me to do a live on Wednesday nights like this? With Scott working nights, and it looks like he's going to have to do it another week. I was thinking I might do some really late nights and just try to stay on his schedule. The only reason I've been trying to get to sleep is I've been trying to also help Greg readjust to a daytime schedule. He is not a morning person, and he has to be to work at 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. every day. Kind of hope they give him the full weekend this weekend. We'll see. All right. So I'm going to, because I use this paper that's so white compared to everything else, this is where doodling comes in. And you can do any kind of doodling. But I like to add a border. Oh, I'm glad. Just make a jaggedy line around. With your Posca pen. And if you don't have one of these, just get you a narrow paintbrush and a tube or bottle of white paint and do something with that. You could maybe even come in and on your paper, mimic some of the pattern. This is kind of a plaid-y stripe thing. And just kind of go along some of the lines. And you don't even have to be dead on perfect with them. And you could just do some dots on your roses here and there. Maybe just some little wiggly marks and dots. Just so you bring more white into it, see? And that kind of makes it look like it's supposed to be that way. And then you could put your initials on it somewhere here. I might put mine right here. And that's just got to dry now. And then we got that other one that we have under there drying. So I'll set this aside. And we could do one more, which I have these and this fortune. The strangest, most generous, and proudest of all virtues is true courage. So we could use this. I like to cut the little. I got so much of that stickum on these scissors now. A lot of this other stuff can go back in pocket 3 here in a minute. I want to trim this down on the top. And I might just dig in my paper scraps and see if I just have kind of a background that looks kind of spacey. Or I could just quickly paint this black and then apply these. I might do that. I'm going to put 2 pieces of double-sided tape on here. Barbara Clark is trying to reach Sharon on Facebook. Ooh. I'm just matting this little fortune cookie recipe. What? Fortune cookie message. I got recipes on the brain, apparently. me see if I... This has got a little bit of white paper on the edge of it. I think I'm going to trim that off. Let me see what I have. Debating whether to paint this or see if I've got a piece of painty paper. I like how the twigs come in from the side here. See, I wouldn't need a lot. I don't need that. Just looking through to see what I have. Oh. What if we just put some book text down on the background? All right. This is... because this is wide enough, it could cover some of that. I do have a project in mind that for next week, and everybody would need a piece of denim fabric. It can be a piece of somebody's old blue jeans. If you cut and open a pant leg, that would probably give you enough for what I have in mind. And I was thinking of doing a prompt game. So you would need to pull out whatever you have that you can decorate or put paint on to fabric with. Or if you have regular paints and have some of the, what's that stuff called? You mix it with the paint and it turns it into fabric paint. Because I was thinking we could decorate a piece of denim and then we could turn it into something. We would have a separate day that would be a sewing day, that it would be, really end up being a sewing project. Or you could make a book cover with it, is what I have in mind. And you would also need things to do a prompt game on fabric for next week. Is a piece of denim about 10 by 20 if you can get it. If not, 10 by 12 would be a plenty big enough piece for a small project. And the fabric paints, pens, markers, anything that can go on fabric. And then some embroidery floss, pieces of fabric, and that kind of thing. The lesson we learned the last time I did this is to go, when we do a paint prompt, don't try to put a bunch of paint on. You just want just a little bit of color. You don't want a deep, rich color on it because then it'll be too hard to sew through. That's what we learned last time. So Yeah, I'll show you when we do it. But next week we're going to do prompt game on fabric. Denim, preferably. But if you don't have denim, canvas would work. And this is not going to go back in my paper scrap bin. It's going to go in pocket 3 of my Bits and Bobs binder. So that it'll have, more of the same stuff in it. I need to bind my Bits and Bobs pages that I started. I might trim that some more, or take you can take an emery board and sand that off too once it's dry. All right, and I really like this piece on the edge. So I'm going to spread some glue on the back of this. Put it down. This is just going to be kind of a random off-the-wall postcard because I got all kinds of stuff going on here. And I kind of like working on more than one at a time so that one can sit under the block of wood getting all pressed in nice and even and all that. Hoping Greg will get to sleep good tonight so that he can get up refreshed in the morning. He'll have to drive our car, and I didn't need to go all the way to the edge, so I'm going to have glue going everywhere, but it's going to be all right. It's picking up the overlap of the other piece of paper, but it'll be all right. I'll take this and try to wipe some of this off. All right. And then this piece, I think I want to overlap, maybe not here. We need a third piece of paper of some sort, don't we? Put this down here, and then we can put our little message up here. All right, sorry, not watching chat. Oh, good night, Esther. Good night. I guess it is getting late for most people on my side of the USA, and I know UK folks are sound asleep. So that's the bad part about this time from slot, is that everybody's already gone to bed or is heading to bed, or it's close to tomorrow already. I kind of like doing the really early Sunday morning, but that's not always going to be, something I can do on a regular basis. That'd be an impromptu time. And I just wanted to do a hat that morning, and I said, you know what? I'm going to just go live and make a hat. So I made a hat. I think that was last Sunday, wasn't it? Which day is it? I don't know anymore. I'm going to trim a square. Oh, it's going to take me forever to clean up tonight, you guys. I've pulled out too much stuff. Don't fall. Okay, not going to go any farther now. You're going to make a gnome card. I was hoping to get this finished so we could try cutting out those little gnome dies and see how easy they are to match up. But we might save that for another day. I'm going to do a 2 1/4 inch square here. That will be cute, Sharon. I didn't cut that one very straight. My son's very first girlfriend's grandmother just passed away, and she still thinks a lot of us, even though they didn't work out, but she still likes to keep in touch with us. But her grandmother was going to turn 101 in just a couple months. And oh, I like that. I feel so bad for her. I think maybe I just want 2 of these here. There we go. Sorry I'm having to come on so late, you guys. It's the way the schedule is right now. And there's so many people on Wednesday afternoons anymore that I'm beginning to think, I don't know what day would be good to do lives. I used to be Wednesday evenings all the time, but then I went to midday so that the people in the UK could pop in. But I know none of us watch everybody all the time, but I do enjoy sharing stuff. So I'll keep on keeping on. I don't think I trimmed this till I'm like, why does that one look so much longer than the other one? Because you didn't trim it off. I might just play with those gnome dies another time. I'm starting to get tired. And there's some things I gotta do before I can go to sleep tonight. I haven't cleaned the kitchen yet, for one thing. Fran on the Edge, Aaron in the Adirondacks, MBA, and there was like I looked at it at like 2 or 3 o'clock, and there was like 4 people on. So I was kind of shocked. I was like, wow, that's a lot of people. Wish I'd inked the edge of my quote too, but too late now. Oh. Well, I start at 7:30 these days. I was coming on at 2:30 on Wednesdays, but then there were so many people on, I'm like, oh, that's just not going to work. And I think Lori comes on at sometime on Wednesdays too. I'll just keep doing this time slot, and I'm gonna have other videos coming up. Fridays Friday morning video. If one goes up, it'll always be, I'm thinking, crochet on Fridays, and it's hi Patricia. Yeah, I think the Friday will be like a crochet along. I ordered a book and a set of, I don't know if I'm saying this right, Tunisian crochet. I want to learn to do that, and I got a book and the hook's coming, and I thought maybe we could learn that together. And I think if we do a block in each of the stitches, what I would do is I would try to find tutorials that are already up on YouTube. Maybe the person that wrote the book has some videos on YouTube, and I thought maybe that could be a way we could learn those together. I shared what I've ordered on my community tab is what I've done. Not saying you have to go buy it because I'm not sponsored by anybody, but it'll show you how I'm going to learn from. This looks funny right now because it needs to be trimmed, but I'm letting this glue dry over here. I might put this on with double-sided tape. MBA is a friend of Carol's. He does wood turning and woodworking, and he does some music type videos where he does the drums for some well-known pieces. And there's one evening where he drinks moonshine and chitter chatters with everybody else. A Tunisian crochet hook. They're really long, like a knitting needle, and they have like a stopper on the end of them, on the back end where it's just rounded off on a regular crochet hook. It has like a little extra round disc at the bottom of it so that the yarn can't come off. If you look in my community tab, I put a link to the set I ordered, and I saw there's another set that had stitch placeholders, but I have some stitch placeholders. Plus, I'm known for using just a little piece of yarn or a bobby pin as a marker. I mean, it's just something you stick there that you pick back up. Did you eat some of that lasagna, Greg?
Oh, I did. I did that before we
Oh, before we left.
Yeah. It sounds weird. You want to know what one of my favorite childhood memories is?
What?
Where me, you, and Grandma and Grandpa would go to Shoney's.
Oh, you like when we went to Shoney's when you were
Yeah.
little?
I still remember.
I wish it was good like it was back then.
I still remember. Granddaddy thought it was hilarious. You kind of thought it was amusing, but you tried to warn me. And what I thought was some type of like pudding or some type of sweet was actually butter, and I loaded down a plate with it.
Oh, that whipped butter?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
Granny thought it was funny as hell. He's like, "Yeah, you changed your mind real quick, didn't you?"
You thought it was going to be like some kind of whipped dessert.
Yeah, like whipped dessert or some type of banana pudding.
Let's see. I'll stand up, put this on here. And you were wrong. Kids always think they got it all figured out until they don't.
That's by the way I found out something. Mary was telling me how people were having trouble doing new constructions, or like even out in the countryside. They're cracking down on tiny houses even in the countryside around here.
Oh.
I was just like, you gotta be kidding me. People don't want to spend like several $100,000 for something that's gonna depreciate.
Yeah.
Anything like that. The people at work think I'm crazy. They're like, you want a 600 square foot house? I was like, the smallest I've thought about going is 480. What? They look at me like I'm crazy.
There's glue on here. All right. We're going to switch out and let this one dry under the block of stuff. We'll bring our frog back. We'll let this one set a while. That does help flatten them to stick them under something like that. Ooh. All right. Now on this one, I think I'm going to outline some of the shapes in the background in white. You once did an Afghan on a long-handled crochet hook. Yeah, the Tunisian, from what I understand, is you load the hook up like you would for knitting, and you work your stitches onto the hook, and then you work them back off the hook, and then onto the hook, back off the hook. I think that's how that works. So I'm going to go around these circles. Probably getting glue on my pen, which is not good because it'll ruin it. The poor frog looks like he's floating. Let's see here. This has got all those circles in the background. I used to love Shoney's strawberry pie. But last time we tried to go to a Shoney's, we weren't impressed anymore. Scott's got this theory that once a restaurant goes buffet, that's their last day, last try, last efforts to remain, a thing. Because, Ryan's Steakhouse, they went buffet, they're gone. Western Steer and Western Sizzlin', all of those steakhouse models are gone. And they all went buffet. Oh dear. I think, well, Bernadette's probably under a shed or in her doghouse, I hope. It just sounds like it's pouring rain. It wouldn't do me any good to call her in right now because she'd just get wet. Poor puppy. I'm trying to figure out where to put my fingers so I'm not sticking them in the paint. I might set up for craft and chat over on my dining room table off from this table so I'm not quite so close to the bedroom door where Scott is trying to sleep tomorrow. So we're not keeping him awake. If I get up with Greg in the morning, I could do my video to share the hats I've made. And I've got to start sewing. I'm so glad I'm almost done with the hats because that opens me up. And I offered to make my sister, she's extremely tall. She's almost 6 foot tall, my youngest sister, and small chested. And she's been wanting a wraparound dress. So I told her, I said, how about for your birthday, I get your measurements and I just make you a custom to fit wraparound dress. So I don't know how difficult that's going to be for me, but she's worth it. He needs a lily pad. Yes. Let's see. Maybe I need to look up a picture of a lily pad real quick. Yeah, they served steak. It was awful. Oh, no. I don't want to take a picture. Thought I blocked you. I did. I love that this phone tells me suspected scam or reported as scam, so I can just block them. We'll clear all of those for right now. A simple lily pad picture. Show me a lily pad. I'll type it in. I can picture it in my head, but I don't know how true it is. I figured I'd look at one. Would help if I could type. I'm offline. I am not offline. What are you doing? Why do you keep attaching to the printer? Find it. Come on. Now my phone will probably go bling, bling. All right. All right. So I've got Jolie daughter there dancing. That doesn't have anything to do with a lily pad. That's what I thought it looked like. Let's see here. Let me get a green Posca, and we'll see if we can just color one on and let it set. And then I can go back with some white and add lines. I think I have green in a Posca. It might not be the same green. But we can spread this green around the card and it'll be fine. I'll look back at chat here in just a minute. I caught this little blurb, as you do when you're flipping through those shorts, of Jim Carrey talking about when he meets people on the street and all they want is a selfie with him. And he said to the effect that he really doesn't like that as much as if you walk up and say, "Hi, how's your day?" And, have a real conversation. And that hit me. And, people don't take time to have real conversations anymore. They want to do something that's instant and get it out there. And I got to thinking about that. I want to take more time to just appreciate the people around me. Does that look like a lily pad? And when it dries a little bit, I'll add some other stuff. But now we got to make everything else look like it goes. So we'll just put some dots. Maybe a couple dots up here. And I'll set this aside to dry. And we'll come back to it. We'll add more white to the lily pad. It needs to lay somewhere and dry. Over there. Slow conversations. Yes. My sister and I have been having some wonderful conversations. It's been lovely. Not that she's had all this free time, but she's hoping the doctor will release her so she can. They wanted her to come in and teach 2.5 days this summer to some of the older kids, which she would prefer not to do that. But she said that she would change her mind. And if she gets the okay, she's going to call the school and say, yeah, I'll come in for 2.5 days. I don't know what she would be doing. When she gets, healed up and all, I might see if she'll let me come over and do a studio tour at her pottery room. One of her bedrooms in her house is a pottery studio, and then she has a shed out back where she has her kiln and her no, I think this big spinning wheel is in the house now. But see her setup. I don't know if that'd be something y'all would be interested in or not, but I thought it could be fun. I'm just going to ink the edges of this one. And I have been dating these with my date stamp. So each time I make one, I stick the date on it that it was made. And then, of course, it'll have the postcode as well. There you go. That really looks pretty on the screen. And I could add some more white to that one. I don't know how Shell C does it, but sometimes she'll shake a Posca and it'll do splatters, but I've never, it won't do that for me. It doesn't do anything. I could splatter with some other paint, but I like it the way it is. I think it looks fine. Oh, okay. Have a good night. Thanks for coming, Barbara. All right, so there's 1, 2, And 3 is over there. And I'm not going to be able to stay on much longer because I'm getting tired too. So I thought maybe I would do a quick flip of the ones I have finished. The froggy one here, when the greeny color has settled a little bit, I will go back with the white Posca and add a bit more. Oh, we got to put the date on here. And today is, what is today? The 8th? Is that correct? The 8th. Yes. No. 4. June 8th, 2022. You got most of it on there. That one I'll have to touch up. All right, so there's our 3 from tonight. Oh, Ann had to go too? Oh, there's just saying bye. Okay, so I'm going to do this flip through and then I'm going to sign off. I'll put all of this back in pocket 3. Let me do that real quick. Make sure I'm getting everything. All these little bits here. That little bit I might throw in the trash because it's bent. Oh, and then the blingity bling. We'll put that back in pocket 3. So next week we'll work with denim. We'll do the denim project next week. And then we'll just look at these real quick. These need to dry because that ink from that date stamp stays wet. So these were the first 2 we did together. I think that was last week. And then I did 3 in the last week's craft and chat. So I did that one and the polar bear and the fox. And then after I signed off from craft and chat, I did this one thinking of Anne that says, some people dream of going to Paris, others dream of horses, because she always wanted a horse as a little girl. So I have 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I'm over halfway there now. I need to back out a little bit so you can see all of them. Get you over here a little bit. Puts a shadow on the fox, but that's all of mine so far. I figured that out, Ann. Sometimes I'm slower than others. So anyway, I want to thank you guys for coming and hanging with me tonight, and I hope you had fun. We did these postcards, and then we did the little ATC pocket, and I had done 3 ahead, and then we made this one together in the gray. So those were some that we did too. That's what we did at the very beginning, the little ATC-Coin pockets. All right. So I will see some of you at Ann's tomorrow. And I hope everybody has a wonderful evening. Good night.